Hello, my name is Dawn Krizek and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to make biscuits and gravy. So what I'm doing is I'm pouring the yeast into some flour. I'm adding the sugar. I'm adding the hot tap water. And then we're gonna mix in a little bit of the milk here. And we're gonna put it in the KitchenAid, and you're gonna go on the lowest setting possible. So then we're gonna just start adding in the Crisco, a little bit of milk. So what we're doing is we're just mixing together slowly the flour and the milk, a little bit at a time. Okay, so we're gonna let that mix all together. And while that's mixing, we're gonna go ahead, and I have another four cups of sifted flour here. And what I'm adding is some sea salt and some baking powder and some baking soda. And we're gonna go ahead, and I've got this sifter here, we're gonna go ahead and sift all those ingredients into the flour. And so then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add this flour mixture to our mixture over here. And we're just gonna add a little at a time. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're just slowly mixing together everything. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the mixture that we just blended together in our KitchenAid. We're going to wash our hands really good. And then you spray your bread bowl really good. And you're just gonna take the dough, and it does get messy, and you're just gonna dump it all into the bread bowl. And then I just get some saran wrap and I spray it with the oil, and I lay it on top. The sprayed part is going to be up against the dough once it starts to rise, so it won't stick to the saran wrap. And then I grab my towel, my bread towel, and I get it really hot. And then you just spread your towel over the bread bowl. We're gonna set it aside and let it rise. And while we're doing that, we're gonna make our gravy. So the oven has been preheated to 425, and that will be for the biscuits once the dough has risen. And so right now we're gonna go ahead and make our gravy. And what I like to use is this Jimmy Dean hot sausage. It is a little spicy. I don't think it's too spicy, but it does have a great flavor. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cook up the sausage. And I'm using a cast iron skillet. And you want to have it on a lower heat until you get it all mixed in. And the one thing you want to do is you want to keep moving the meat around so that it doesn't stick or burn. Okay, so now we're almost done cooking the sausage, and as you can see, it's starting to get cooked completely through. And you don't want it too dark, but you do want it to be all the way cooked through. Okay, when we're all done with that, we're just gonna set that aside. Okay, so we're gonna start making the gravy, and the first thing we wanna do is we want to melt the butter in the pan. It's 1/4 cup of butter, and we wanna make sure that it's on low heat. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add in 3 tablespoons of flour. And you wanna keep stirring. Then you wanna pour in your 3 cups of milk. And then what I like to do is grab a whisk, mix it in really good. And we're gonna turn up the heat because we do want this to boil. And as you can see, it's already starting to foam up, which is what we want. We wanna go ahead and turn the heat down to low so it can simmer. But you don't stop stirring because it will stick to the bottom. You wanna continue to stir. And then I'm gonna add my sausage, and I'm gonna add some salt and pepper for taste. And then once it's thickened, you can take it off the heat, and you can add in your sausage. And then I'll add in a little pepper and add in a little salt. You don't want it too salty, but you do want it to taste really good. So here's my gravy. Really good, really, really good. Okay, well, we have got our biscuits ready to get in the oven. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to put a little bit of oil in the bottom of this cast iron skillet, and it is very important that you use a cast iron skillet for this. It is gonna make it taste amazing. So you just put enough oil just to kind of cover the bottom. You could use a little bit of honey. And then what we need to do is we need to put this in the oven and get the oil hot before we actually put the biscuits in to cook. So we're gonna set the timer for 5 minutes, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put our cast iron skillet into the oven. Okay, so we let the oil get hot for about 5 minutes in the oven. And so now we're going to take it out of the oven. So then what we do is we spray 1/4 of a measuring cup with some oil, and we dip it into the dough. And you just want to just put it in there. Okay, so once you got your pan filled with your biscuits, then what you do is you just place it back into the oven for about 15 minutes until it's golden brown on top. So now we're going to take the biscuits out of the oven. And as you can see, they're nice and golden brown. Put some butter on the top of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to put them on our serving dish. And now let's get to those reveal shots. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you can subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And so we'll see you guys later.